get schooled by the old veterans, or will the young blood be able to take out the old blood?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting kind of opening matchup here. Again, you got to start the tournament off, start the day off, which is a little bit scary, but I think ultimately it's playing in these types of environments. Nothing prepares you for this. You have to be here. You have to experience it, and that is something that Twisted Minds, might be missing just a little bit for sure.
Yeah, you see a lot of the players over there on the side of Twisted Minds, getting some jackets back on, getting the heat packs going. I think, that could be, we're coming into here. It's an air-conditioned venue, obviously, and just want to make sure that they're feeling as comfortable as they possibly can. The temperature, obviously, a big one, especially with the hands. You're playing FPS, you got cold hands. That's just not going to work, guys, right? So making sure that all of our players are at their top capabilities and that the match is as competitive as possible. The guys on the side of Gaimin Gladiators don't seem too bothered by it. Maybe a little bit more accustomed to the temperature here in the building. But yeah, looking good and almost ready to go here, guys.
But yeah, like I said, like I've mentioned, experience definitely will be a key role here for the younger team here. Twisted Minds, they do have some international appearance in the grand finals, but they were eventually thrown out pretty early in the group stages, if I can recall my memory correctly. For XLCK, Gaimin Gladiators, they do have plenty of experience, so yeah, shouldn't be startled too much to be on one of the top stages of the world, EWC CROSSFIRE.
Well, it looks like, we got some chants, we got some cheers from our teams. Might be almost ready to hop into the game, and this is very exciting. We're starting off here at the CROSSFIRE for EWC, and it's the exact first match we got here for the B stream. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us, and it's going to be a really fun match. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to leave it to you two casters to break down the game and give us all the action as maybe a last-second issue, as I do see Flex is pointing at something over there. But I'll leave it to you guys, and take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Excited to get into it. So here we kick things off as we are straight into the action, of course. Trying to see whether things start off well, particularly for Gaimin Gladiators here on this BL side of things.
Twisted Minds over on the global risk side. As we say, we do have a quick pause coming in. We'll get things sorted out. But yeah, talk about the map itself. For the stat-wise, Gaimin Gladiators do have a 13-3 whooping scoreline here in their previous tournaments. And for Twisted Minds as well, they do have 16-3. So it's a little bit better, but needless to say, it was played in the Vietnamese region. So
okay. Seems like we're halfway live here, folks, and we will be...
halfway.
Yeah, we will be maybe on a little bit of a reset, but ultimately just getting things sorted. I think, if I'm correct in thinking, there's no CROSSFIRE server out here, so, there's a lot of setup required to get the game going, so maybe a little bit of
they might have actually brought some offline servers here.
Oh, well, there you go. Goodness. Cannot imagine the League Ops side of things. But either way, a little bit of action here as it looks like the B-bomb site might be the choice here. That chip, oh my goodness, looking strong straight out of the gate. Will be traded eventually, but a couple of really nice shots to just slow down the attack.
Flex also being able to take down Mousy of all things now, down to a 2v3. The C4 rotates in towards the B-bomb site, being held down by Kimbum. 40 seconds remaining onto the clock. The pop flash to Zane is going to start creeping in towards the connector. Kimbum comes in. Let's see if he's able to find a couple headshots. He does find one with the M14. U-gun added here at EWC. So is the TRG as well, I believe.
Oh, nice angle, decent damage. Will finish off that kill onto Flex, but traded out into the 1 versus 1 here to kick us off in the first round. C4 going to go down nice and easy. Spoxy really, lacking the information, gets a little bit lucky there, just a spot in the window. Should be able to find this, but no, around the corner, it's Bokyu who takes it, and the first round will go the way of Twisted Minds.
What a pop flash. Was able to spot out the tip of the arm, peeking out from the window, but at the end of the day, Bokyu was able to use the vision advantage and take the kill, and the pause now comes into play.
Yep.
Looks like it's a technical one, I believe, as we can look at the stage down below us.
Okay, we're moving. We are moving quick. So maybe just sort of, as we say, sorting things out. And again, it's in this environment, a little bit different for a few of the players. Again, more of a B lean here to begin for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, a lot of utils being spent here by Twisted Minds out towards A long. Before Gaimin Gladiators, after a failed take onto B, it was a rather slow one. They were able to trade out the kills pretty fast. It was down to 3-on-3, but eventually they spent just a tad bit more time than required, and looks like Twisted Mind was able to take the bomb site back into their hands. Going to round number 2, C4 is dropped by the spawn, and players are looking to get into the catwalk area of A. Don't know where they want to take this one into. Carrot waiting with open arms. Is going to be able to find the tip of the head there. Spoxy goes down. And looks like Gaimin's going to lose the armor of their squad.
Yeah, sharp shot. Really sharp. And obviously something that we pointed out early on was this head-to-head battle. Still early here. But the GR side of things looking pretty good for Twisted Minds. Feeling comfortable on the defense, which I think it's important. You know, you've got to make sure that your individuals are able to hold their particular spots, flex on a pickup, trying to get that trade, late trade, but just not happening. So the minute left here, Gaimin Gladiators are somewhat out of ideas, just try and brute force their way in towards B, I suppose, but it's going to be easier said than done. The jump spot here, lovely and clean, and they've got a nice crossfire going at the moment.
Looks like they're going to full send it.
Yeah, this looks dangerous. Oh, through the smokes, trying, failing, but it's Datchip at the back end who's able to take a couple down with him. Just 2 remaining now on that BL side of things, and yeah, the spam is just all too easy. As it looked like, difficult to get in, an attempt made by Dezane to be fair, but there's nothing really coming here for that Gaimin Gladiators side. Yeah,
nice defensive setup, crossfires and all that, all the utils as well. And Twisted Minds is going to be able to lead out 2-0. And for Gaimin, looks like they're going to need to put some gas in the pedal now. Otherwise, Black Widow is one of those maps where you get completely lopsided out if you do lose the driving force.
Okay.
Lexus Boxy going for the double TRG setup. And looks like it's going to pay off dividends. Datchip and Carrot taken out in a blink of an eye. Almost missed that too here, Scriv.
Yeah, to be fair. I think doing a good job of just sort of picking up the pace into this round. We've seen a lot of defaulting and prodding and poking in these earlier rounds. So really cleanly done there to just sort of change the pace up. And as you say, it pays off very, very well. So solid advantage right here for the BL side of things as they will look to move in towards this A bomb site. CROSSFIRE though at the back. It's a pretty tough angle to beat. He's got teammates on the way. And he's just trying to draw them in as best he possibly can. The trade is not there, though. Felt like a decent idea, just doesn't come off. Can't land the shots, and that should be the round.
Yeah, playing by the window side with the boxes, juggling your footsteps. It's tough to land your shots, especially when you're midair. But Kimbum, the last member alive, is going to be taken out by Flex. And it looks like Gaimin's going to be able to find the dear-needed first round for themselves. 2-1. Still, Twisted Minds on the lead, and Scriv, to me, Gaimin was able to direct themselves away from the B bomb site, which is basically kill house, and was able to find themselves, get the bomb planted on towards A. So do you think, are they going to be able to continue on with the trend of hitting A, maybe a split this time towards catwalk, or are they just going to brute force it down towards long?
Well, potentially, I think that there is a little bit more room on the A bomb site. I mean, it's still pretty early doors, is the thing for me. And it looks like what we're going for is a lot of pick-based action. You know, first kill is very, very important here. It feels like for these teams, we were talking about this a little bit, 2 of the more passive kind of regions in a sense that they don't really like to play super, super aggressive. So I think these first kills are going to really decide a lot of these rounds. In this particular round, it's Twisted Minds who were able to find the first. So is that going to be spawn-based? Is that going to be just off of who's a little warmer here this morning still?
This
but
morning.
All the same, yeah, it's all blending together at this point. But either way, Twisted Mind's looking good here.
Yeah, Spoxy was taken out earlier in the round, and looks like they're going to force it down towards the B bomb site, but KinZero has a good spray down, almost gets the second kill as well. Pistol out, not going to work. Flex and Zane gets into the bomb site. The C4 is down. The rotation from Twisted Minds is coming in as well, but the smoke is going to blur out the vision of the members of Gaimin to enter into the bomb site. Going a big flank here, though. Mousy and that chip. Will it pay off dividends here?
Well, yeah, that is the question. They do seem to smell a little bit of a rat. Flex is tagged up, but lives to fight another day here, and of course trained in on this Orm, but will go down. Zane then got the bomb back, but yeah, there's not really too much coming. They just couldn't get out. And as you say, as it keeps happening, this B bomb site, bit of a lockout.
Yeah, I feel like they want to drive a faster tempo into the B bomb site. As you can see from the utils being thrown out, they are trying to pop flash. They're trying to cover the window with the smoke and all that. But eventually, your body has to get into the bomb site, and looks like, I don't know what's going on, but something is holding them back from just bum rushing into the bomb site.
Yeah.
So moving into round number 5, let's see what Gaimin wants to do here. They're set outside of B bomb site with a player on towards catwalk, possibly hinting to us a possible mid hit. Haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, just sort of going through the basic Rolodex of strategies at the moment. It does seem Twisted Minds as well have just figured play a little bit safer, be careful about that first peak, right? The round that they lost was maybe down to the fact that they had 2 or 3 players all getting aggressive at the same time. So they just need to mitigate the risk with some of the early peaks, and they've done a good job of that so far.
C4 now being moved in towards a long. 3 players there being held down by Mousy. Can he find the opening frag? He's going to pop flash there with the support of that chip towards long. The Zane's going to swing and a miss as KinZero takes one down. Lion Claw's going to be able to take Mousy out. And now the rest of Twisted Minds will have to start rotating. It's Spoxy, though, on towards Catwalk's going to get wall banged the heck out from him. The Zane trying to cross. That chip waiting by the staircase gets one. Can he clap the second player? Yes, he does! And it looks like Twisted Minds is going to be able to close out one more round in favor for themselves.
Yeah, big recovery there as well. You hear the cheers from behind. I think they feel good about that one. They know that it was a little closer, certainly chaotic. And a few missed fights, a few kills that really could have and should have gone the opposite way, you know, to the opposite player, but not the case. So, yeah, Gaimin Gladiators maybe going to be kicking themselves a little after that round. And now TM really starting to stretch ahead. You know, the gap is growing. And some of these rounds looking more and more dominant. Yeah.
In the first couple of rounds, we were able to see players of Twisted Minds playing a little bit aggressive, players peeking out towards catwalk with the TRG and all that. But after racking up 4 rounds, they're not playing aggressive anymore. They're playing very defensive. They're playing very formal, I would say, as they don't have to risk anything anymore. They do have the rounds in their pocket.
Yeah, ultimately, I think that they feel as well. Yes, they've got the rounds, but also they're just able to hold the sites well in their basic setups. They don't need to take any chances or do anything unorthodox. The kills and the rounds are sort of coming to them. RFF struggling a little bit here as well as we just watch him as yet to frag. So we'll see if that continues to be the trend. But just a couple things to keep your eyes on. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, that chip, KinZero really flying ahead.
Barrett, once again, waiting by catwalk. Didn't see the players cross. Misses the first shot here. That chip is waiting, and looks like he's going to find a double kill for himself quick enough. Looking for the third. Juggling with the box is not going to quite hit that one this time. Carrot is there to wrap it up. The last kill onto a Spoxy. Can he hit the shot? Yes, he does! And that round was as quick as blinking of an eye here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they really do enjoy the double sniper setup as well. And that round is a real testament to how powerful it can be in the right hands. But that chip continues farming, ultimately. Looking really, really solid here.
10 kills already.
Yeah, he's flying. He's flying. That's, you know, a good number of multi-kill rounds. So, and that last one included, again, having really, really solid impact, really quick with it.
Yeah, so the global risk side, they usually go for the double sniper setup, out towards long and out towards catwalk. To counter that for the Blacklist side, I think they haven't tried just swinging out middle and split A through middle and cat. Don't know if Gaimin wants to do it this time. Haven't seen them even poking prod out towards middle at all in the past 6 rounds, so we'll have to wait and see. Raffin takes a punch through the doors here to make things even worse for Gaimin.
Yeah, they're maybe in the just can't win mode at the moment. It all seems to be going against them.
It's like putting salt to your wound, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. There's maybe a chance here, if things do not improve, that, we start to talk about map 2 a little prematurely, to be honest. But we'll see. Gaining bits of space as they will work their way through here and try and confuse things out. Are they going mid? Are they even going to try and split A, perhaps, with a small lurk out at long?
Still have a whole minute to work with. The C4, of course, is going to be down towards Kalik. Bakut this time will be knocked out by Raffin, so first frag granted towards Raffin. And to open this round up, Raffin drops down. Datcher was completely unaware he gets knocked out. Although Kimbum is there to return some fire. Down to 3v2, the C4 now being planted. All down to the hands of Kimbum and Carrot.
Again, it's the A bomb site, isn't it? It looks a little bit better for them, and they're able to perhaps find some more consistency there. Really difficult angle. I mean, Spoxy is pretty much invisible. Pete comes around, nice and easy. Kimbum going to go down. Not expecting too much from him, but yeah, we'll see here. We're still not getting super excited just yet, and you can see some size of relief that they're able to get back on the board, but there's still a gap that needs closing.
Gaimin finally able to rack up a bit more round. 5-2 still in favor of Twisted Minds, and the opening frag is going to be down towards Lion Claw. 4v5. And Scrib, I feel like this time around, I think Gaimin with a member down, I think it's valid for them to try hit B once again, just brute force it.
Yeah.
I feel like they only failed because they took the tempo down a little bit slowly, so if they're able to just put the gas to the pedal, then they might still take the round here.
Yeah, they do lack a little bit of the confidence over there, don't they? They kind of get into the entrance, and then there's a slight bit of resistance, maybe arguments over who goes first, But the energy, not quite open. A bit of nervousness. It's something that, again, we have talked about, and maybe where the teams from China in particular just have a lot of confidence, a lot of aggression, right? And some of these other teams don't quite know how to match that. But this one does not start well, of course. So that's going to affect things just in the general field of play. Lose that player early. And again, they've felt confident with the A-bomb site previously. Maybe try and get one of those snipers in there and just get an entry, perhaps.
Yeah. Gaimin's going to go for the double arm setup. Flex has a pretty good angle, but he's going to back out as the flash is being thrown towards his face. Less than a minute left onto the clock here. The Zane takes a bunch of damage out of nowhere into Skyro. Probably leg shot with the TRG here. Carrot versus Spoxy. Carrot spots him out first. Down a player, and looks like Gaimin will have to fall back out from Catwalk. And then waiting in middle is going to be Mouseby to make things worse. Flex goes down to a 2v5 with 30 seconds. This is a hard one to take, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just feels as well we've got a lot of slowdown from GG, and that allows some of the Twisted Minds players to just go prodding and poking. They're already a man up and whatnot, and they get those snipers in there in particular and just flatten off the opponent. Really, really cleanly done. Given the chance, given the opportunity, they are pulling out some very one-sided rounds right now.
Very one-sided indeed. Like I said, 6-2. We do have a quick technical pause. Looks like it will be sorted out pretty soon as the referees are stepping out from the stage. So yeah, looks like we're just back.
Good, man.
Last
we're on
round.
it. Definitely on it here at EWC. But we'll see. They have not had that first kill come in, so always a plus, I think, for Gaimin Gladiators when they're able to approach the round in a straight-up 5v5, not losing the early picks and whatnot. It's been a while since we've seen them, in fact, find that kind of success. Twisted Minds playing pretty far back in this round, actually. There is a lot of presence out towards long, which I think is going to be an area of contention in just a moment.
For Gaimin, if they're able to close the first half out with 3 rounds, they still do have some hopes and beliefs left in them. But if they do end up losing this round here, Twisted Minds can easily close this one out. Carrot gets completely sprayed out, and so is Mouseby. So, definitely being favored here by Gaimin is going to be able to go for a bit more aggression, but Kimbum says no to that, takes one down and does a bunch of damage as well. The Zane crosses with the C4. No, it gets chopped down and Balkan on top of the bomb, so we'll find one before going down.
A little bit close for just a moment there, but they have maybe lost a few of the key fights. Very, 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 very low HP here, though. And that chip is going to know that. Patiently waiting. Ready for that C4 to go down. Here's him coming in, just tries to cover it off, but it's a keen find from RFF. Really, really important that he gets that kill and, you know, doesn't fluff his lines on that one. So, yes, indeed, on the board, but you can kind of see, again, the stress, the tension, still pretty high. Very, very close round there to close things out.
And since Black Widow is more of the global risk-sided map of all things, if Gaimin is able to, you know, just continue on with the trend of picking up rounds here and there, they do have a valid chance of taking the map down by themselves, as now we do get to switch the sides. Twisted Minds for themselves, I think they're going to go for the more aggressive tactics.
Okay.
Like they were able to showcase in the grand finals, even though it was completely halted down by the Chinese region, of all things.
Another little bit of a technical issue before we move into this second half, but yeah, it feels like things are heating up a little bit for the Gaimin Gladiators. I will say Twisted Minds still had some very clean rounds, just a few changes in places as well, where it was like, right, do we need to take those aggressive peaks, take those risks? They did a very good job, I think, of adapting on the fly. Gaming, it's a bit flatter for me if they find that opening pick in a round, if an initial exchange like we saw there in the final round just kind of goes their way. There's a couple of guys just slightly off the angle or whatever, right? If they were a bit wider, they perhaps find their kills. So there's less consistency to the way that Gaimin Gladiators have been playing for me.
Yeah, I mean, their aggressions in the first couple of rounds was not aggressive enough, I would say, on the Black side.
Yeah.
Opening frags, of course, was taken by Twisted Minds, so they will have to start a round off with a member down already. And with just 4, if you're able to isolate one bomb site to yourself, you can play 4v3 at max, since every team will leave at least one player towards the other bomb site. Nonetheless, they weren't. First of all, they weren't able to isolate the bomb site completely. Certain smokes weren't there in position in the right time. Second of all, the entry fragger wasn't able to get the trade kills in quick enough, so the aggression was definitely slow, I would say. But I think they were able to pick up their tempo coming to the latter rounds, so hopefully this change of things will help Gaimin to rack up some more rounds.
Indeed. This is never good, though. Takes some of that momentum away, you know. I think just as we were starting to get into the flow of competition, it has unfortunately hit a wall here.
Probably better for Gaimin, isn't it?
I suppose it all depends. I think it's always very curious about like tech pauses and stuff, right? Like how do certain people deal with it? I know myself, for example, not that I'm anywhere near as good as these guys. I feel like sitting in my own thoughts, not being able to talk and all that kind of stuff maybe wouldn't do me the best. You start to perhaps doubt things or, you know, over-analyze, especially when you are on a stage of this caliber, right? So,
right.
But it depends. Some players, I'm sure, are able to stay zen. Maybe that's all part of the skill of being a professional player as well. It's not just in the mechanics. A lot of it is in the mental side of things. But, yeah, always very curious as to maybe do they practice this? Do they sit in silence for like 10 minutes or something, you know, when they're at the boot camps and whatnot, just to kind of get used to that feeling? But yeah, the big thing for me is just like not being able to talk and communicate at all while you wait for the issue to get sorted.
But yeah, talking just a little bit more about the maps here. Black Widow 6-3, of course, Twisted Minds in the favor here, but Gaimin being able to pick up a bit more of a tempo, bit more of a precision here in their shots. Now that Gaimin is going to be able to play on the more favorite side of all things, do they have a pretty good shot at closing this map out by themselves, or is it going to go into the golden rounds?
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit difficult to say. Just from what I've seen, Twisted Minds look a little sharper, a little more originality to them. You know, maybe playing more confidently and with a bit more knowledge of the map, especially with it being their pick. That being said, things could change as we flip over here, but also you have to think individually. We've seen a bit more out from Twisted Minds. You know, when a round goes well for Gaimin, there's maybe a few more players getting involved. I think that it's pretty scary to see what Datchip is doing, especially if he can keep that up onto the blacklist side of things. I think that could be a really, really scary prospect. You know, get aggressive, find that entry frag. No one can compete with him necessarily.
Followed up by Black Widow is going to be Eagle Eye 2.0. Unfortunately, on the first BO3, we don't get to see the New Mexico update. But looks like we are back into the lobby live and already opening frags here and there. Flex goes down to Carrot, and that chip is going to be taken down by Raffin, and eventually looks like Twisted Minds is looking to get in towards the A-bomb side. A lot of interest being shown here. C4 rotates in as well. Carrot on the cross. Will he be able to find another frag through the tip of the smoke here, but the flash is going to work out some wonders. Carrot will have to fall back.
You can immediately see here, though, can't you? There's a lot of difference in from Twisted Minds playing a lot faster. Not afraid to take those fights. Maybe they should be, though. And some of the early ones not going well for them. Mouseby, though, where does he come from? He's just bursted in, picks up the double on Cat, and creates the space for the bomb plant. Really, really well done. I think just going to completely bamboozle Gaimin Gladiators here as they will look to try and remain competitive. Big kill coming in, but it's deep information gained. Edge of the smoke. A keen shot from Carrot, however, should give them the round. Kimbum makes it look easy to close things out. And
what a flick, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Absolutely insane shots from Carrot. This guy is completely dialed in tonight. I mean, for Gaimin, they had some nice opening frags. They had some good trade kills here and there, but eventually, Datchip and Carrot just completely shutting down the show here for Gaimin. Working out 7-3. And like you said, Scriv, a lot faster tempo being shown here by Twisted Minds. Rather, Gaimin had a slower rounds, I would say, on their blacklist side. So let's see if this changes anything. Datchip swings and a miss. Lion Claw is going to be able to take him down, and the nade from Bakut's going to take Lion Claw out.
Yeah, I feel like a really, really big trade. Gaimin Gladiators going for something that we've just not seen all game long, and that is some coordinated CT aggression. So a big trade, but a big find through the double doors here. Spoxy keeping control of that area as well, so the game slows down a little. Carrot looking to contact his way through. Oh, can't get it done though. Flex with an easy find of his own. So solid advantage at the moment for Gaimin Gladiators. Just got to be careful not to give too much away here. I think we're already starting to see Twisted Minds maybe conceding the round slightly, see what comes their way, but I think they know that this is going to be a really, really tough round.
I mean, if Twisted Minds can isolate one bomb site and see if they can just take down the solo player holding down the bomb site. Zane actually gets spotted out and not looking the right angle. Raffin, though, swings out, is able to retaliate, take one kill down. Bakut versus the world, 1v2, and a Dream has plenty of time. 50 seconds remaining. The C4 not yet to be picked up. Has so many angles to look for before he can recover the bomb. Raffin in the bomb site is going to be able to finally take down the kill. And Gaimin is going to find one more round for themselves here.
Again, coming off the back of some aggression. So playing a lot more confidently in this second half than I think they were in the first. You know, on that BL side of things, they lacked a bit of the get up and go. See it again, though, looking to get aggressive towards B. So we just have to be careful. How long is this going to last? So many smokes going down, a lack of information, and just able to play around them. Really keen finds here, and I think I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is a very different team in this second half.
Yeah, Gaimin slowly but surely picking up the pace here. Already found 2 kills. The Zane gets taken out. Smoke with a quick headshot by that chip. Guy's been dropping 13 frags total in just about 11 rounds, so already above 1 KD here.
Yeah, a really solid game from him. Kimbum also not too far behind. Carrot. Oh my goodness, the timing of it. He's able to get away, take another shot, but he misses out that second time of asking. Could have been absolutely devastating. A lot of damage has been done. So we'll see. There's lots and lots of time for Twisted Mind to get back into this round and, you know, find those low players.
Yeah, still a very doable round. Like I said, Flex and Lion Claw barely breathing here, which is about 5 HP or something. If they're able to find the opening frag, this round could easily be headed towards Twisted Minds. Minute left onto the clock, and looks like they're gonna start poking, prodding in towards the B house. Held down by Flex. Kimbum, the crouch cross, not caught out just yet. Looks to swing, but Flex is gonna play smart. He's not gonna peek. He's gonna hide in the boxes, play lurk a little bit, buy the time, buy the room for your team to rotate it back in.
Yeah, this is all to play for in this round. Just trying to creep in, the wall bang. He's maybe heard a step or just got a good idea that it's the only spot that he could be in. Dat Chop cannot cross though. So it's all going to come down to Kimbum. Really, really important clutch here if he's able to get it. The first kill and the plan, the easy part. Now he's got the difficult bit. As he looks to close the gap here on the pistol, finds both through the smoke. Oh my goodness, and a massive, massive find. Twisted Minds with a huge stolen round.
Stolen is probably the right term here, Scriv. That round, seemingly and surely, Gaimin could have closed that one out. It was a 2v1, but Kimbum was able to get the bomb planted, had all the utils to himself, smoked off the cross, and used that angle to himself, quickly pistoling down 2 players in a row, and the round is going to be taken by Twisted Minds, and looks like, as you can see on the screen here, a lot of wind has been taken out from the sails. The expressions, the facial expressions. Yeah. Man, it's sad to see, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it can be, but that is the nature of the competition. A round that they know, we know, I think everybody knows they should have been winning. So, starting to worry ever so slightly now as the game getting away from them. We'll be in prime position now on the Twisted Mind side of things, and as you mentioned, the mental side of things really becomes important now. So start to worry, and immediately you can see Gaimin Gladiators have lost that aggression that they were pulling out a lot of the rounds. They've decided to play it safe and not take any risks. Twisted Minds expecting a bit of said aggression, but as we mentioned, it's not coming their way.
I mean, Raffin has picked up some pace by himself. I think he had 0 kills up until the 5th or the 6th round. Not exactly sure when it was, but now he's got 8 kills himself. If he frags out just a little bit more, will definitely be helpful for their team to win some more rounds here. At risk now, 8-4. Just 2 rounds before Twisted Minds can close this one out to themselves. Carrot going a little bit aggressive down towards long. It's going to back out.
Yeah, more of the action going down towards the mid area, it would seem. C4 has been dropped, a decent amount of information. Not loads of time here for Twisted Minds, actually. They do have to be a bit wary, a bit careful. Nade damage is decent, but Flex able to remain on that angle. And they are somewhat panicking here for ideas. Maybe just trying to send that chip in to fake things out, draw some attention. The bomb itself, though, will be slowly but surely headed up cap. Down goes that chip. It's not really enough of a sell. 10 seconds here. Flex is hidden away. The kills are in for Spoxy as well, so looking decent enough. Just about able to get the bomb down, though. Very, very, very close. We'll see what Garrett can do. Oh, my goodness. Brings it as close as damn it, but not able to clutch up this time.
So close yet so far. Carrot almost clutching that one out. Could have been another stolen round here, but not quite going to work out. It's going to be a 8th round still for Twisted Minds, but Gaimin is going to be able to finally find a round for themselves after a long break. But yeah, I think that last round was a little bit forced by TM, wasn't it? Just about less than a half a minute before getting into anywhere, trying to sell fake down towards B. Like I said, not sold.
Yeah.
Just one player just juggling with the guns. Not quite going to work here at the top of the world stages here. But at the end of the day, this pause hopefully will help both of the teams to get back on track. That last round was a little bit rowdy, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think, again, you see how close it comes and how panicked it was. If they'd maybe just given themselves an extra 15 seconds, something like that, it could have just calmed them down ever so slightly. And quite tense here, though, as we potentially come towards the end. It all depends on whether Gaimin Gladiators with a couple of timeouts now, if they're able to keep closing this gap.
This one is a tack, I think.
Yes. So chatting things over and just trying to, you know, remain in the lead, I would imagine, for Twisted Minds in particular. Just got to nip this in the bud before it gets too crazy. And, you know, you have to bear in mind that one comes close and is chaotic. One of their rounds here on the BL side of things has also come down to a crazy clutch. It's not actually been as much of that domination that we saw in the first half.
And Gaimin playing very standard setups is working in their favor, so looks like none of the rather spicy plays on the goaler side will be shown. Early on, though, some nades being thrown. The Zane taken down to about half HP here already. Twisted Minds thinking about gathering some information down towards middle. Mousevy with the C4 is going to start creeping in towards doors. Not entirely sure if they want to swing out. They do have a smoke put out towards the connector. And Raffin as well, trying to poke and prod and get some more information. Going to be a rather slow-paced round there, Scriv.
Just looking to thread that needle, aren't they, really, and find the all-important gap. It looks like through middle, trying but failing to catch Flex on that rotation. Datchip's actually found himself in a pretty good spot here, I would say. Yes, they're down a player, but I think he has a good chance to really devastate, and it's a difficult angle to beat. Ow, RFF able to stay alive, actually. I thought surely would get traded there. It's all about buying time. He's got Lion Claw in beside him as well, so looking pretty good in terms of the setup. He's just doing his best to stay alive here and make sure they can keep spotting some information. Lion Claw, they know about him, but these angles are just so tough to beat. The rotation's now going to start coming in. The spam is slowly getting there. They will eventually force him out, and somehow they've managed to net the kills. I think very well played from Twisted Minds to not get too distracted, not fully send it in, and it was that rotating player that they take down. Now the flank from Dezane, but surely nothing coming here. He will play it super safe, get that bomb the hell out of dodge, but he goes down to Carrot anyway. A big round from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, I mean, Raffin trying his best to stay alive, just crouch jumping by the boxes not to get wallbanged, was able to buy decent amount of time. More than enough, I would say, but the Zane on the rotation was taking a more detoured route, I would say. Took a while for himself to get back in towards the B connector. Didn't come in time. The bomb set was swarmed, and Twisted Minds is going to find the 9th round for themselves here. Moving into round number 15, Spoxy eventually taken down to make things worse for Gaimin. About to get knocked out from the first map here.
Yes, indeed. I think they've had, in isolation, a few good rounds, but never really able to compete here on the Gaimin Gladiator side of things. Twisted Minds have always done a good job of getting back in and making sure that, you know, one doesn't turn into a streak of rounds necessarily. But we'll see. Always still time. Never over until it is over. That chip on the slow contact here. Just trying to find another, of course, and really solidify this round in. You can see that they're playing quite slowly. No need to rush into things. They've already got a solid advantage. Just play around that. Not a great deal of utility remaining, so now have to make a decision about where they want to go.
Looks like it's going to be B bomb site to be contested here, whole time by Lion Claw. Last time, he was hiding by the corners, was eventually taking out the tip of the head, peeking out. The C4 rotates in as well, and now Raffin was able to buy some information for the team. The rotation comes in quick. The Zane, though, swings out pretty wide. Balkut goes down. And looks like Twisted Minds will have to decide if they want to rotate out from B or just force it down. And it looks like their decision is going to be out towards Catwalk, is it?
Maybe eventually they've got this guy out long here. Is kind of their only contingency. Slowly going to safely rotate around. So actually maybe just going to go where they have information and take the bomb with them. But we'll see. Again, looking for a small sort of fake out here. Kimbum not hard selling, but just making noise, keeping attention over on that B side of things. Meanwhile, Long relatively vulnerable, trying to get in on the cross here. 15 seconds to do so. Trade is there. Kimbum looking to cut off rotations, but fails. Not able to get anything in from that angle. The nade is good, but not enough damage to stop the bomb being planted. So all to play for here on the Gaimin Gladiators side of things. They do have the advantage going into it, but the HP bars do not favor them. Difficult to tell, difficult to call. And they know, Twisted Minds, they have to take the initiative. Carrot will find a keen shot, traded out. Nice and clean, but it's Mouse on a big flank here. Able to drop it down to the 1 versus 1, looking to try and find it. And just got to play, the mind games here. Get him off the bomb, keep him distracted. He tries his best to go in for the hold, and I think that should just about be enough to get this over the line. It's pretty damn close though, Bench. It's pretty damn close, and no, he cannot pull off the defuse. TM will get it done.
It was close, but it was not there. The last tick wasn't there to defuse the C4. Looks like Twisted Minds is going to be able to close the first map of Black Widow out 10-4. Pretty whooping scores, I would say, as we are getting ready to move. Just waiting to move into the next map of Eagle Eye.
Yeah, I mean, a really key map, I think, coming in from Twisted Minds at the end of the day. Very, very well shown. As we'll probably see here on the highlights, some of their rounds were situations where they shouldn't necessarily be winning. A good handful of clutches in there that were very, very impressive. But particularly, I think, starting the game off pretty strong, making sure that Gaimin Gladiators were on the back foot from the get-go, as you can see here, right? 5-1 before they were really ever to get going again. So I think that it was just an uphill battle the whole way through for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, it was a tough one to climb. But at the end of the day, we were able to see some calibers being shine bright. At least some good rounds coming out from Gaimin. But the question now here really is, Scriv, is that do they have the caliber on the Blacklist side of other maps as well? Because whatever they've shown on the Black Widow side, a map of Black Widow is, it's not there, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I think there is a little bit of a lack of maybe just even individual prowess to them, at least on this map and at least today. So yeah, very, very curious to see what this second map will hold for that Gaimin Gladiators side in particular.
And there you go, the winner, Twisted Minds. Good cast, by the way, guys. Was really enjoying that while you guys were breaking that down. Twisted Minds definitely looking like the stronger team here. I personally thought that Gaimin Gladiators would be able to do well on Black Widow, but not quite the case. And Twisted Minds a very strong showing here. Obviously, the sniping was fantastic from the side of Carrot, and also I really thought that Datchip was putting in a lot of work. Just so many awesome angles he was able to take into the backlines and stuff. Was really throwing them for a loop, and they really could not deal with them.
Yeah, for sure. I think they were giving him a lot of the keen angles, right? And ultimately, he was able to take them and prove why he should be having them. That being said, though, yeah, you mentioned Carrot. I think certainly into the second half, he really seemed to pick things up. And yeah, a pretty top-heavy scoreboard, for sure, from the side of Twisted Minds, but ultimately no one able to match on the other side of things.
Yeah, the firing squad of Twisted Minds, 18-8, 16-12, 15-8. What a scoreline there for these three players. But for Gaimin, Raffin off to a very slow start, was sitting at 0 kills up until like the 6th round, I believe. But looks like they were able, Raffin was able to climb back was able to find some kills for himself.
Yeah, so I'm curious, guys, you know, moving into Eagle Eye here for the second map, do you feel like we can see a comeback in this one, or are Twisted Minds just the better team today?
Yeah, I feel like there were flashes from Gaimin Gladiators for sure. There was definitely a couple of rounds. They liked their aggression on the GR side of things, which was pretty fresh, quite nice to see, and I think that it did throw Twisted Minds for a loop for just a second, but unfortunately, yeah, individually there may just be a lack of depth to the team, and Twisted Minds are a little quicker with it, a few more flicks, a few more clutches. These sort of key things went their way a lot more often.
And Eagle Eye 2.0 is one of those maps where aggressive playstyles doesn't necessarily pay off dividends. It's a very long map, it's a very wide map. So Twisted Minds with a more faster and aggressive playstyle might not benefit all that much from the second map, and Gaimin might just be able to pick some pace back up as they are better playing more standard setup, so to speak.
Yeah, Bench, I'm curious, you know, you and I have cast these guys a decent amount in the regional finals, the Gaimin Gladiators. Do you feel like they're at a similar level to what we've seen at some of those other international tournaments, or do you think they're not really hitting the mark in terms of what you've seen in the past?
Not on par, I would say. I feel like they're not... it's either of not warmed up properly just yet or not waking up properly just yet. I don't know what's the issue, but they're not showing the caliber they were able to prove and show in the previous tournaments. So just gotta wait and see what they have on the board for the second map.
Yeah, I think kind of important to see ultimately what they're able to bring. I feel... yeah, I could even tell just sort of watching that there was a lack of energy to them and just took them a little bit too long to get going, and maybe got a few rounds in and they were sort of like, okay, this is going to be tough for us. We have to come up with something fresh. And just nothing was working, you know, in some of the rounds. So a pretty tough opening game for Gaimin Gladiators for sure.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an issue. And as we talked about before, it's a double elimination GSL format. So if Gaimin Gladiators do go down here, even if it's 2-0, it doesn't matter. They have another chance to take a best of 3 and to try to come back. But it would be a fantastic start for Twisted Minds, obviously, if they could get started. Because if you win 2 best of 3s, then you're just straight in the playoffs. So that's got to feel really good. Do you feel like with this performance from Twisted Minds, they could be a contender to, you know, make some splashes in playoffs? Or do you think they're just kind of up against a weaker opponent today?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it does look a little bit more like the latter. Always going to be difficult. If we can see them find like a super clean 2-0 here and, you know, no real sweat for them, I think that, yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about what they're going to be able to do in just, again, the second best of 3, like you say, and then they're able to make it through to playoffs. But They look good. I think that there's maybe not loads that they've been asked to do on that map, if that makes sense, right? There wasn't necessarily a big conversation around trying to get back into the game, trying to figure things out. Just the simple things that they were throwing were working. So I think that we maybe need to see a little more of a test into this next map, and then we can talk about how they'll look for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, like you said, the first map wasn't the cleanest of all for Twisted Mind as well, and we could see some weaknesses if they can't find the bomb site to attack, then they completely lose the wheel and eventually they just lose the round. So like those kind of little things, they will have to go back to the drawing board and fix it up if they want a clean 2-0 going out from the group stages. If not, then other teams are watching this as well, so they're going to bite into it and use that to their advantage.
Yeah, well, it is prediction time. Are we going to get the 1-1? Are we going to have a series on our hands, or is this just going to be the straight-up 2-0?
I'm confident in Twisted Minds, honestly. I think Gaimin Gladiators, unfortunately, might need the one-day acclimatization, as it were, and then a bit of a fire up them tomorrow to hopefully deliver a bit more. But yeah, I think Twisted Minds are going to take this pretty cleanly.
I mean, I think it's valid to say a 1-1 is still in the talks. We were able to see some moments where all the players from Gaimin playing very sharp. If they're able to just bring that back, Eagle Eye is definitely one of the maps that they will be favored over Twisted Minds. So just have to wait and see if that is going to be possible. Otherwise, it's going to be a clean 2-0, like you said, and Twisted Minds will just be able to finish this one out. Not being able to see Compound as map 3.
Yeah, I mean, Compound would be lovely to see.
Yeah.
I personally think this should be a 2-0. I'm kind of with you, Scriv, but we got the game going, so guys, take it away.
Yes, indeed. Back into the action here as there is no slowdown, of course. They'll be looking to get straight into things here, and we get to see a bit more out from these two teams on their lesser played sides, as it were, on map number 1. So that will certainly be curious. Raffin as well, not wasting any time as he just gets straight in the face for that first kill.
Yeah, he already walked up all the way out towards A-Long, was able to find the opening frag down towards Datchip, who's been clutching out with the pistol to remind you on Black Widow, down towards the B-bomb side. Eventually, down a player, Twisted Minds, they will have to reset from their positions. Looks like they want to just poke and prod down towards middle, that is. Having a 3-2 split for Gaimin. If this aggression ends up being a split, this could cost them around here. Very strong defense setup.
Yeah. But certainly some gaps left. You know, a sense of timing, a sense of making sure you don't get distracted. Especially this player in Raffin, you know, he's going to be the information guy. He has to make sure that he plays his role well. I would argue an overface Lion Claw peeking in towards middle, maybe trying to gather some information, but he loses his head for that. And now it opens up a lot of options with a Twisted Mind side that have time remaining. So really got to be careful now on this Gaimin Gladiators side that they don't allow another player to overface.
Yeah. This box here that Kimbum's using back in Eagle Eye 1.0, it was spammable. So you could have seen the players on the global risk stage spamming that box crazy, but it's been remade into steel box, so it does give more breathing room to the blacklist side to balance up the map. But 30 seconds remaining, and looks like the C4 is going to get head himself down towards A. Opening from Kimbum, takes down the Zane. Mousefee as well is going to find Raffin, but Spoxy still holding strong into the bomb site with the pistol out. Juggles himself around the stairs, gets the frag down to a 1v2. Carrot trying to contest the bomb site, gets one. He's been playing very well. Down to a 1v1 now, but 9 seconds has to go for the C4. Buys enough time for Flex to rotate, but I don't know, Scriv. This could be anyone's round.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Flex has played things pretty nicely here as he will drop back, starve information away. Try and play that game. Fortunately, it looks like Carrot may well have read it, but he looks away at the worst possible time. Flex gets in there, finds that kill easily.
Misses the jump.
We all saw, unfortunately, but indeed, will be Gaimin Gladiators to take the first. Listen, hard fought comes down to a clutch after a really early opening kill, so there's still little things in there you got to watch for, but it is exactly what they wanted to start off their pick.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It wasn't the cleanest round of all, like I said. It was a little bit iffy. Didn't necessarily need to peek out towards middle. Lion Claw lost his head because of that. Coming into round number 2, Spoxy with yet another nice and clean opening. Kimbum goes down, contesting Hotel as well. Looks like they do want to gain a full control out towards B. Bakken takes some damage with the nade thrown his way as well. Looks like he's thinking about swinging. Lion Claw doesn't spot that out, gets knocked out. Flex, going aggressive, is going to be able to recoup the kill back down to 4v3. Not exactly sure what Twisted Minds wants to do here after dropping 2 players. It's like they're just going to rotate out from B, get the C4, join forces with that chip and see if they can take down A. But as you can see on the minimap, Scriv, held down by 3 players once again.
Yeah, it does seem like they want that A-bomb site to be a solid lockout. They were baited out last time around, so never a solid deal. Carrot up the tower with a nice find. Actually going to thin those numbers on that dreaded A-bomb site. That chip trying to spam away here. Can't quite find it. Riffin, though, he is struggling to get those kills in. Oh, there's no ammo. Spoxy doesn't know where to look. Too many targets. He's onto the pistol. It's not enough. Madness from Datchip as he runs out of ammo in the primary. Has to go to the secondary. Gets 2. Bomb pang going to be denied here, though, but the trade is there. Another chaotic round. This time, it is Twisted Minds to come out on top.
Too many targets. Like you said, Spoxy almost got the shot in, but he had to switch to the secondary. Didn't quite work out. Wasn't able to find the second frag, and Twisted Minds is going to be able to find the round for themselves, tied to 1-1. Moving into round number 3. Looks like yet another early Hotel aggression. Trying to gain the ground here by Gaimin. Worked out wonders last time. Don't know if it's going to work this time around. Line Claw going a bit more aggressive. Eventually, he's going to fall back a little bit towards the staircase.
Yeah, not sure if he was heard crossing.
Probably not.
So you do have to be careful of this area. Looks like Twisted Mind's wanting to play a much slower kind of round. They are heavily smoked off at the moment, though, as they're fortunately not able to create too much. Meanwhile, long angle at A goes the way of the Gaimin Gladiators side of things. So a nice find here for Spoxy.
Spoxy definitely being the guy to find the opening frags for Gaimin. But from the history repeating himself from the last round, Twisted Minds did lose a player to begin with, but they were able to get the round back. So
yeah,
don't know if the frag is going to matter all that much by TM.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, certainly what we've seen from Gaimin Gladiators, they've done a very good job of finding those opening picks. So maybe immediately looking more comfortable on this map as compared to the previous, right? A few more confident angles in places.
Yeah, definitely burning the clock down to the wire here. 50 seconds, and looks like TM has crossed in towards the B long area, but Flex is holding strong. Gets the clap onto Baku, looking for the second, but doesn't have the information though. That chip from the swing does find one. Flex though will add one more kill to the board. Down to a 2v4. That chip and Carrot all to do. Didn't know that Refin was all the way out towards middle. Gets knocked out. All the down to the hands of Carrot as he gets gunned down by 3 players simultaneously.
Yeah, certainly not going to come out on top of that, but it looks a lot better, I think, from Gaimin Gladiators. They do just seem to have some of the excitement that we were missing on map number 1. Twisted Mind's going to have to work harder here, and I think they're starting to now realize that. But
here's the quick replay, I believe.
Yeah, Flex from the previous round. Pretty big one from him, for sure. Just catching a couple of those kills that we missed out on. It will be yet another opening pickup for the Gaimin Gladiator side. So something that Twisted Minds have really got a nip in the bud. Starting to get very problematic.
Yeah, if the same thing continues for 3 rounds straight, then there's something wrong about it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, yet another slow round being delivered by Twisted Minds. I feel like if they don't drop a player by the opening frags, then they will go very fast. But whenever they're stuck in a position where they do lose a player and have to play a 4v5, then they play really, really slow. And as I say that chip's going to start sniffing into the bomb site pretty quick, I would say.
It seems to be something that they quite like, actually, is they drop down. Maybe they do it in conventional rounds as well, but that chip, they're just leaving him on an island to do his own thing. Try and go first, try and find an entry on the other bomb site as it is in this round.
Just being the crack player, right?
Yeah, but unfortunately, his teammates maybe not quite delivering in the same way, and one man can only do so much. Trying to get the catches here. Keen find onto one, but there you are. Immediately traded out. Has he created enough space? I think the answer to that question is going to be no. Bomb goes down solidly now in the hands of Global Risk. So looks decent here. Carrot does manage to recover it. Actually a relatively clear path to that B-bomb site, but just not able to move fast enough. Didn't have that information, of course. And so Gaimin Gladiators starting to stretch ahead now.
Yeah, Gaimin's going to be playing the rounds in a smart manner, I would say. The Armors go pretty aggressive, actively try to get the opening frags. If not, they will just fall back and leave the bomb site to the hands of the riflers. But up until now, the aggression has been working wonders. Kimbum has been going down. Baku has been going down. Even that chip, I think, lost his life at one point in the rounds. And moving into round number 5, finally, nobody has lost the top of their head.
Yeah.
And hopefully Twisted Minds can get some rounds back here.
But you can see as well that sort of that B long area is just a complete lockout, and what they've done into this round to adjust is just barely out of spawn.
Yeah.
So I think they're just on the Twisted Mind side of things saying, right, we're going to have to concede that area. We can't fight it. We're not finding success over there. So that does leave them fewer options available in terms of the bomb sites. So we're probably looking at a couple A hits in a row here.
If you think about it, it's almost a deal, isn't it? Like, it's like Global Risk will lock out B. Blacklist will basically respond by, okay, we can take control of middle at least and play from there. And that's exactly what is happening here on the map of Eagle Eye, as Twisted Minds does have control out towards long, does have the control down towards middle, but they have completely lost the control out towards B. So it may seem a little bit abnormal to the viewers that doesn't watch Eagle Eye all that often, but this is the default setup, so to speak, I would say.
Oh, Flex misses the shot. Looked like he was on a pretty keen lineup there. His teammates, though, they find success. Able to help out towards middle. Looking very good now. Not a lot of time left. Pistol out. Carrot just closes the gap there. Catches Flex completely off guard. It's Riffin who's having a really great half here thus far. Again, time is starting to really become a problem. They've lost that bomb now. It's all on Carrot. Up against 4. He's going to have to ace up to win the round. Not going to happen for him. And Gaimin Gladiators only losing 1 player there. You know, again, a round that looked a bit better on paper for Twisted Minds. They gained some ground in towards middle, but they just cannot convert pretty much anything.
And this is probably the right time for Twisted Minds to call the attack pause. I feel like whatever happened on Black Widow, we can just kind of, you know, put that aside. Gaimin Gladiators was able to pick back up the pace, play smart, play the right angles in the right time, get the trade frags if needed. It's been working out quite nicely. They were able to rack up some rounds. For Twisted Minds, the aggressive plays trying to achieve angles early on in Black Widow worked out wonders. But coming to Eagle Eye, it's not necessarily being translated into gaining the ground. Rather, it's losing a player early on. So definitely got to go back to the drawing board a little bit and fix that issue. Otherwise, Gaimin seems to be pretty dominant in this matchup right now.
Yeah, I think they recognize that as well. You know, obviously they've tried to change things up in the previous round just from a strategical approach, an initial approach, but also not working. So Twisted Minds hitting the wall themselves. It's kind of a rinse and repeat of the first map, but the teams are flipped. So we'll see if they're able to come back into things here. Of course, the first and only round that they've found, also off the back of a clutch situation. So not a lot that they can call on, not a lot that has been replicable.
So, Scriv, we are very early on into the second map. Like, nothing's been decided and nothing really shines light. But what if we say Gaimin wins Eagle Eye, then we go into Compound? Who do you think is going to come out on top for the whole series?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a tough call. I'd probably have to lean more on the Gaimin Gladiators side. If they keep playing like this and they win the map in this fashion, I think maybe, yeah, you do start to lean their way just because they would have that sort of momentum upper hand. Another keen opener here as the round gets going. So Gaimin Gladiators seemingly can do no wrong. Maybe buying off a bit more than they can chew here, though, as they will press the attack. They were already a man up. They decided to get super aggressive. It seems to have gone sideways for them. The C4 is miles ahead. Really weird situation here in the hotel. Yeah. Flex just trying to hold things down and drop that bomb ultimately.
Yeah, Flex was able to juggle himself through the smoke and somehow find himself in the middle of hotel. Was able to take down Carrot, who was completely unaware that an enemy could be present. Gets completely knocked out. And now Mousevy was able to retreat a little bit.
Yeah.
Join up with Kimbum. The C4 rather more safe. Soon will be planted down towards B. And sensing that Spoxy and Flex is going to start walking in towards the bomb site. Just about a minute left onto the clock. The C4 now gets planted. Kimbum can cover middle completely by himself, but looks like Mouseby wants to just go for the trade kills. So is Gaimin, as both players are walking in towards a long area, but not entirely sure if TM is all aware of this.
Oh, big find. Tap on the bomb. Flash as well, but Spoxy still able to find them. Oh my god! How has he gotten away with that?
What a spray down. Quick double kill, and yet another round goes towards the side of Gaimin.
Insane. Absolutely
with the M14 too, that gun, great damage, great recoil, but the RPM is just not there.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Somehow this man finds himself in a spray down situation and gets both kills. So.
They will be kicking themselves. I mean, again, he gets into them, I suppose, but they maybe just have to believe and have some confidence in the setup. You figure they find that first kill, they're in with a really good chance of taking it. A lot of frustration coming into this round for sure. We've got a quick 1-for-1 as they'll trade things out. Once again, Gaimin Gladiators looking to get aggressive down that B-long angle, but this time they'll know when to quit.
Yeah, after a quick trade, looks like they're going to play this one out a little bit in a slower manner. But yeah, kind of surprised to see that Twisted Minds is not forcing it down towards the middle yet. I mean, they had ideas of doing it a couple of rounds ago, but at the end of the day, they didn't really force it. So if hitting A is not working, gotta go elsewhere. If hitting B is not working, gotta go elsewhere. And the only option left here, theoretically, is middle. So looks like they're still gonna show interest down towards Hotel. Down towards B, Lion Claw has an angle. It's gonna fall back after hearing 2-3 different guns being fired towards him.
Can't make it away though, so he does go down. Okay, and we're back with a bit of a vengeance here on the Twisted Minds side of things. Yes, they might not have won that previous round, that previous clutch, but it seems like they have put the fear into Gaimin Gladiators a little bit. Their individuality looking better. Spoxy surviving for now, but eventually finished off. And this is the best looking Twisted Minds round they have had. They should absolutely be able to convert things here in just a moment. Dezane has been spotted. A few players that are a bit lower than they would like, but ultimately he gets finished on the backside. So still some work to be done, but that is a start.
That definitely is a start for Twisted Minds. They were able to pick up some pace back up. And I'm not entirely sure if Twisted Minds wants to just force themselves onto one bomb site continuously, because, you know, Gaimin, well known to adjust their tactics, customize it for their opponents.
Indeed. As they have been a little bit adaptive even within this game. We've got a lot of aggression, a lot of kills on the screen from the previous round, from this round. Both teams just charge straight into mid. Absolute bloodbath. Oh! You can't be missing those, Carrot. Come on now. He's got in his own head about it. The bomb is briefly in the hands of Flex there, but ultimately they will clean it up. But there was an easy shot that he missed, all right? We all saw that.
That whiff was a little bit surprising to me, but at the end of the day...
Hey, it happens. It's always when they're not looking at you
yeah.
that you miss. You know, the easy ones, actually the hardest.
I even thought the grenade would just finish it there.
Yeah, true.
But eventually Flex was able to dodge it. Coming into round number 9, though. Last round of the first half. Gaimin, after dropping 2 rounds quickly in a row, is going to be playing this one out pretty slow. Flex on top of the site was able to find Carrot through heaven, and now Spoxy looking to find a kill of his own. He's going to start swinging. And so far, Twisted Minds, bullied out from middle, is going to have to gather outside of A-Long once again. I don't know if it's going to help them. Don't know what the results are going to be, but well, all we can do is wait and see.
Just got to wait for an overstep. I think it's something that Gaimin Gladiators have been actually doing in the past 2 or 3 rounds. If Twisted Minds had managed to clutch things up, we'd actually be looking more at a 4-4 situation. That would be very, very interesting indeed. So Gaimin Gladiators have to convert this now, keep them at arm's length, make sure that there is no gap close. And there's one of those overfaces I was talking about here. So the man advantage going to be evened up now.
Yeah, a little too wide of a swing from Flex. Gets punished by the players of Twisted Minds, and the aggression down towards A as well. That chip's going to be able to find the Zane, who was peeking out just a little too wide. Gets his head knocked out. Down to a 4v3 with the C4 stuck dead outside of A long. Don't know if he can fall back, but the frags down towards B does open up the gate for the players to rotate all the way from the spawn area down to a 2v2. Is Gaimin aware of this?
Well, that is the question. I would imagine not. Bokyuk going to find his as well. The sniper of Spoxy now going to be more aware. Not loads of time, but still should be enough that they can group up and close him down. It's all just going to come down to if he can get the catches. The answer is no. And here we go, heating up now, as it will indeed come as close as damn it. This is getting very, very, very dangerous for Gaimin Gladiators.
5-4 on the first half, and now they will have to move on to the blacklist side. Gaimin, do they have the caliber? That's going to be the real question here.
Yeah.
We're about to find out in just a moment, but yeah, this is the overstep, like you mentioned, from Flex. Cost almost, I think that basically cost them the round here.
Yeah, the first domino for sure, right? And sometimes it's good to just completely remove dominoes from the conversation. We are playing CROSSFIRE, I suppose, but yeah, it's is one of those moments you look back to that it's, oh, why did I do that? What was the point? Spoxy with the first find here, though.
Quick drop.
Really, really fast once again. Gaimin Gladiators not afraid of the aggression here on Eagle Eye 2.0. There's a trade back from Dat Chip. Kimbum up close. Got some support now as well. The flashes coming round to just buy him some time. The spray down is good, and it's 4 for Kimbum.
Quick 4K for Kimbum to wrap that round up in a blink of an eye almost. One quick magazine and quick swap to the secondary for the final kill, and looks like that round is going to just take the spirit away for the side of Gaimin.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, an individual moment like that, and of course, again, another round where they find the early pick. They've done it again here, so it's starting to get a bit out of hand. We'll take another look at this lovely little move. Really well played, but it's the support as well, isn't it? You know, coming in from behind. He had those flashes. He had a few extra bullets to help him out. Down to a 3-on-3 in the round itself. So we'll see here. Again, it was Gaimin Gladiators to open up. So if Twisted Minds could maybe help themselves out a bit and just not lose that first player, they could be in a really keen position here. Bomber's gone down, but the retake is moving in thick and fast.
Just
2 remaining now. Yeah, that's a dangerous kill. Really scary indeed. Carrot on this orb, going to miss out close. That is unfortunate, but Gaimin Gladiators retake the lead.
I mean, I thought the round was pretty clean, but at the end of the day, Raffin was able to find the trade kills back into the pocket and just close the round out. So, yeah, for Twisted Minds, unfortunately, the retake wasn't quite there, I would say. And for Twisted Minds, they are not necessarily utilizing the early aggressions, opening picks, trying to actively find the opening frags, like Flex did on the Global Rush side. The Armors, the snipers of the side of Twisted Minds are going to be playing in the more passive angle of all things.
It's just generally a more confident kind of play style from Gaimin Gladiators, I think. Maybe in the first half of the previous map, we didn't see it as much, but since then, they've been unafraid to get in the face of their opponents. And here on Eagle Eye, to much more success, that is for damn sure. Oh, Mouse V, that looked dangerous, but he's able to actually survive that, take the kill with him. So a keen opener coming in here, lots and lots of damage being done. Trade will be there. In towards long. Oh, Mouse V as well, maybe going down a little too easily. That Chip selling his teammate down the river just to try and confirm these kills, but it doesn't happen for him. That's going to be the key kill. Can these retakers come in and finish off these low HP players, I suppose, remains the question.
Carrot was able to find the cheeky angle to find the frag down to a 2v2. Just a minute left onto the clock, and Zane trying his best to juggle himself onto the bomb site. Get the C4 planted. Carrot takes a bunch of damage through the smoke there. Will have to reposition himself as Kimbum going for the bigger flank here. The C4 now gets dropped, and the clock is now ticking against for the side of TM. The Zane down towards half HP, but Carrot barely alive as well. Rather even round, even retake, but is Gaimin aware of all the angles that are coming in. Oh, the flex just spot out Kimbum, and looks like the answer is yes. Kimbum goes down, and Carrot will have to start moving in. But Skriv, this round, seemingly should be given towards the side of Gaimin.
Big kill, though. Carrot does manage to find the first. The pistol's out. Oh, man, and Flex just able to get it mid-air. Knew he was low, most likely. So, yeah, really solid stuff. God damn, it's so close, though. Again, very, very chaotic, and Twisted Minds with the right idea, but not quite the right execution in the end. So, really going to come down to the wire here. Might see our first overtime as well if things go to plan.
It definitely is a possibility. But the replay here, this Flex being able to spot Kimbum not looking the right way.
Yeah, I know.
And securing the round almost. But Bakut now, being contested, gets one. Can't quite connect to the second kill, but Kimbum is there to help. But he himself gets knocked out by Raffin as well. Quick double kill for Raffin. And Gaimin is going to be able to take the bomb site and get the bomb planted down to the hands of Carrot versus the world. He's been put in this situation multiple times, but this time it's not going to work out. And Spoxy will find the frag, and Gaimin is going to secure their lead. It's going to be 8-5 on the scoreline.
Yeah, again, Gaimin Gladiators just a little more to them as they're able to find more consistent success. There's moments where it looks a bit close, but particularly when it comes to moving into the bomb sites, I think the Twisted Minds setups are not quite as surefire as they would like. Datchip, aggressive and in the face, and try and play around him as much as they possibly can. It's sort of a bait and switch setup coming in here, and Kimbum, as the player flies over the top of him, will manage to stay alive. I think a bit of support from Mousevy as well, and there you go. I mean, Twisted Minds also able to pull it out. Really, really enjoying the M14 here on the defensive side as well. But ultimately, key round for them. Really, really important round to just keep them off of that map point.
Yeah, and Twisted Minds had a really nice crossfire setup there. Kimbum finding the opening frag, and he turned around. I thought he was dead because there was another Blacklist player that was peeking out, but Mousevy was there to take him out.
Might catch it here on the replay potentially, but you can kind of just see as he starts to turn around. It was Dezane actually flying in. Carrot going to open here with a double, in fact. Twisted Minds might be back. Gaimin Gladiators got to watch out.
There's a lot to talk about here. 8-6, and if TM can pick this round up, it's going to be 8-7, but Lionclaw is going to be able to find the opening up towards Kimbum. That chip goes down as well. Precision definitely there for Lionclaw. Equalized down to 3-on-3 with the bomb site. Compromised now. The C4 has all the room to be planted. And Twisted Minds, they will have to go for the retake. Mousevy takes a bunch and has to reposition.
Oh, man. They're so far away. I just, and they have like such a lack of control and info. Carrot with a big find, though. That might get them back in. Mousevy as well. Finding one, spotting the second, damaging the second, in fact. So surely you have to get this done. But Riffin holding it together, he's just not ready. Carrot, they didn't know where he was, right? The kill came in so far away. Is he coming behind? Is he coming conventionally? It's unfortunate, very unfortunate indeed. Close, but that's not going to be good enough. Twisted Minds bring it within one.
And like you've mentioned, some of the rounds by Twisted Minds might not be the cleanest, but it does get the job done. Wins you the rounds, and as you can see, Twisted Minds slowly clawing back up to 8-7, just one round away from tying it back up. So whether the round be clean or dirty, a round is a round.
True, this is true. Yeah, and I think they'll be pretty thankful of that one. The retake, it didn't look good, did it?
No, it didn't.
So far away, everybody in different positions, but just a couple gifts come their way. So here we go, all to play for at this point. Some early damage coming in, perhaps off the back of a nade. Keen enough start for Twisted Minds, and always a good feeling, isn't it? Gaimin Gladiators have been very effective with the first pick. If you can deny that away and hold on for a little longer, it always looks good.
Surely and indeed. Moving into round number 16. Early aggression down towards middle. Mousevy has a really good angle, only if he can spot them out. Not quite going to work as he gets quickly traded out. Bakut is there to help out. The C4 is dropped in dead center of the map, trying to be recovered by the players of Gaimin. They do have control of middle, but Bucket is still waiting with a cheeky angle. Ooh, Carrot spots Boxy, not quite lands the kill with the AK though. Spray down, almost there. Secondary out, tries to get the kill, not quite there as Flex quickly drops 3 players and secures a round for Gaimin.
Oh, that could be the moment. That could be the moment. I mean, you know, trapped in surely has to go down. Surely has to go down. There's also the tag on the player through the door.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, maybe.
Didn't work out.
Oh, man. Twisted Minds will be kicking themselves. Really big round and some unlucky moments. Couple of mistakes as well, particularly from a mechanical perspective. This is it from the other side of things. It's that one, isn't it? That second kill that he just really had no right in finding. But he does. Big damage to kick this one off.
This is going to be the decider round for Twisted Minds. Can they close the series out 2-0 by going into overtime, or will we go to map number 3? Big questions being asked here. Don't know how Twisted Minds want to respond on towards this. Quick aggression might be unfolding out towards a bomb site. A lot of setups being thrown out. Carrot trying to hold it down, so is Kimba, but they're completely blind. Raffin is going to quickly move on to the bomb site. Can he find the frags here? Carrot goes down. The answer is yes, but Kimbum was able to find quick 2 frags as well. Down to a 2v3, and Spoxy was able to find 1. Spoxy finding the second kill as well. Down to a 1v2 and Scrib. Do you think this round is possible?
Oh, I mean, maybe with that shot. Maybe with that shot. He's got to get the bomb back, though, is the key thing here. MouseV spotted. Shot misses, but certainly going to confirm that he still doesn't have the bomb. So he has to come to me, says MouseV here. And with a minute remaining on the clock, Spoxy's got many, many options available if he wants to try and rotate around. It is just the fact, you know, sniper really deadly at long ranges, really got to be careful. MouseV has to play the right spot, and I think he knows that. He's sort of constantly on the move, making sure not to get timing peaked.
Yeah, Spoxy has all the time in the world, all the room in the world as well to rotate himself around and find MouseV or the C4 and get the bomb planted and go into post plant. But like you said, MouseV trying to dig and poke and prod into different angles to save himself essentially from getting dropped. It's about 26 seconds. The C4 now gets recovered. MouseV, I think, has an idea what's happening here. The C4 now is going to go down. MouseV is on the rotation down to a crucial 1v1. Bunch of damage being put out. Spoxy at 8 HP and a dream to close the map out. But Spoxy has the angle, gets the shot done. And Eagle Eye is going towards the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
Oh, man, it's so tough. Those last 2 rounds, especially for Twisted Minds, really, really unfortunate, you might argue. Maybe there's different things they could have done, and they will look a little internally, especially, though, on the map as a whole. Started off very slowly. They were maybe a bit overconfident, you know, not respecting the early peaks, not respecting the early aggression until it was maybe 4-1, something like that. We saw an adjustment from them, but ultimately far too easy for Gaimin Gladiators straight out of the gate. But you can see the gap started to close. They really did perform well towards the tail end of the first into the second half, but it just wasn't quite enough. And Gaimin Gladiators, with that initial buffer, gave themselves enough room to work with for the victory there.
So this is what I want to point out. Like, macro-wise, I think Gaimin Gladiators has the macro in terms of like team movements as a team. They're just a better macro team, I would say, than Twisted Minds. But when it comes down to the micro, individual performances, sure, a lot of star player moments by Twisted Minds, but Gaimin, you don't necessarily see that kind of 1v4 moments all that often, but if you don't put yourself in a situation where you have to 1v4, then the rounds are going to be a lot easier, and that's what exactly Gaimin has done in Eagle Eye. So I guess it really just comes down to, can Gaimin drive themselves back into the driving force like they did in Eagle Eye in Compound to win out, as opposed to our expectations of Twisted Minds closing out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a tough one to say. Twisted Minds, though, surely have to be tilted, I think is the word, to be honest with you. Some really, really tough lost rounds there from Twisted Minds, and certainly could have seen them taking it, but unfortunately, just not the case here on Eagle Eye.
Not the case, guys. Good cast once again. Always feels good to come back to the desk and be like, yeah, great job, guys. Because I was listening in the back room. Gaimin Gladiators looking good in that last one. Ben's calling it, saying, hey, they would look a little bit better here on Eagle Eye. I think we obviously saw that, especially very early on. They came out aggressive. They were getting a lot of picks. They were essentially saying, no, we're here to play now. And, yeah, Black Widow was a little bit iffy for them for sure. But they were able to stake their claim over that even towards the end. And then, obviously, here in Eagle Eye, they have won. So now we are going to have that third map of Compound, which I feel like is pretty much anybody's game at this point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd maybe be inclined to agree, to be honest. I think, again, it sort of comes down to how Twisted Minds bounce back from that. You know, there is certainly a world in which they could struggle into this third map from a mental kind of perspective, but we lacked a bit, didn't we, of the same individual prowess, the same names taking over rounds and whatnot. They were still up there towards the top, but just not in the same kind of way.
And like we've seen many a times, a lot of the Asian teams play with the vibe, so to speak. Like if they are on point, you know, heated up, then they're going to start fragging out. But if they do lose the vibe, then things go sideways for the team. So I just hope Twisted Minds don't fall into that trap. Going into Compound, though, as I do have the map stats being pulled out here, I think Gaimin does have a small margin of an edge against the Twisted Minds. I think it's definitely a little bit of a better map for themselves. Back in the grand finals of last year as well, I think Gaimin was just able to play a better macro game on Compound rather than Twisted Minds.
Yeah, I would say, especially back to your point about the Asian teams, especially the Vietnamese teams, I think can sometimes get in their own head where it's like, things aren't working for us. We kind of just have to send it. You know, we have to just kind of do crazy things. I think that their comeback in the first half of that map was very important for them, because if that didn't happen, then obviously they're even farther behind, and I think they're going to start to scramble a little bit. But made it pretty interesting. So I would say that even though, you know, Gaimin Gladiators looked like a much stronger team here in the second map, I would say that we're going to have a close one for sure. Expectations for this one, you know, you and I, we went for the 2-0 for Twisted Minds, but we didn't have faith. But now do you have faith, Scriv?
I feel like we talked about it a little bit in the map as well. Gaimin Gladiators, I think, have proven that they can have an upper hand, that they can force themselves a few rounds, and just sticking to their own game as well. There was a lot more of that aggression that we saw on Black Widow. They seemed to have a game plan. They seemed to have an approach. They stuck with it. It worked on map 2. It was a little close, I will say. There were certainly a few moments that were dicey, to say the least. But I think that Gaimin Gladiators have up themselves a little bit in terms of the stock. I'd probably still have to lean the way of Twisted Minds, just because I think that they can tap into a few of those individuals a little more.
And now that we were talking about Compound, can't leave out the talk of the sniper duo. Carrot definitely fragging out, but Spoxy as well is hitting the shots that he needs to hit, so he's on point tonight. When it comes down to the head-to-head stats between these two players, I think Spoxy just has a better stats on the board, but it's because of the region maybe. I think Carrot's hitting more wild shots, I think. The harder shots to hit, but he does miss the easier ones like we were able to see on Eagle Eye. So let's see if that is going to be fixed. Otherwise, Compound is one of those maps where if the armors can't shine, then you lose control of mid pretty quick.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. I would assume that for the West guys, like the fact that Spoxy actually was able to take that long time off and come back and looked a little bit iffy, but now he's certainly back at his top form based on what we could see in that last map. Even that clutch at the end was pretty incredible from Spoxy. You know, I almost want to give them the upper hand at this point, even though Carrot has been playing very well himself. I just feel like as a team, Gaimin Gladiators, yeah, they had a little bit of a slow start, but should be right back in the driver's seat here now that they're a little bit adjusted to the stage. Once again, just want to mention, you know, this one best of 3 for all you viewers out there that are asking. It doesn't mean you're out, right? It is double elimination, and they will have a chance, even if either of these teams do get knocked out tomorrow, to play in the lower bracket to try to make their stake their claim over the playoffs. So getting into this one now, Compound, always a really fun map. I feel like it's like a great end of the series map, because there's a lot of strategy that goes into, you know, the rotations that you can have on this map and stuff like this. What do you guys think is going to happen in this one? Who's going to take it?
Well, I feel For me, I've still got to lean the way of Twisted Minds, at least commit to the initial idea just for my own kind of sanity. But yeah, and I just feel like there is still that extra layer. And we saw 2 or 3 rounds. If they'd gone the way of Twisted Minds, this series would be over now. So I don't know if I can rely on that same sort of adventure for the Gaimin Gladiators side of things. But I do believe we are into the game here. So take away the action, as it were. But yeah, let's get yours, Bench, a little bit there.
Yeah, because Gaimin is starting on the blacklist side, I think for Twisted Minds, we will have to see the first couple rounds, like you said, if they have the breathing room in them, extra leg room in them. Otherwise, Gaimin can bully the heck out of Twisted Minds with the strats in their strat books. But for now, some early nades being exchanged, and it's going to take away a bit of a HP away from Spoxy and Dezane. No major damage being put out, and as we speak, Kimbom's going to find a wallbang headshot towards Flex, so it's going to be the opener for the very first round coming to map number 3 of Compound.
Yeah, always feels good, doesn't it, to kick off the action? At least from an individual perspective. But we'll see if they can capitalize on things here, of course. Saw quite a few rounds, particularly for the global risk side of things, where they'd start off with an advantage and still somehow things would slip. I think both teams falling flat to that. So the conversion rate's not as good as perhaps the coaches might like. Datchip can't trade his teammate. They're on top of each other in the doors. And as if by magic, speaking it shall appear, Gaimin Gladiators find themselves a man advantage here, and a pretty good one at that, looking very, very nice. All going to be down to Carrot. And it's gone from great to an absolute mess here for Twisted Minds.
1v3 and a dream to secure the first round. Going to be a tough one to ask outside. Coming in towards the long area, being watched by Lion Claw. Carrot looking to swing. If he finds the opening frag, it's going to help him out, but looks like the answer is no. And the rest of Gaimin has all the angles being completely covered. And it's going to be a tough one to ask, and Carrot goes down. Gaimin secures the round there.
Yeah, and they all really light up there as well with the nicers, with the cheering. I think they know that that round was looking a little less than likely, and they managed to convert it. So really, really keen one. Pick up where you left off. Don't let Twisted Minds get into this. And I think, you know, first day jitters, first game of the day as well. You know, you have to open the tournament. It can be very, very nervy, and we've slowly but surely seen Gaimin Gladiators come alive. So if they can even push themselves to another level here on map 3, maybe a team that we would have been a little bit wrong about at the start of the day.
And like Valdez has mentioned, even if you do lose this match,
yes,
it's not the end of your day. You still go into the losers brackets, but who wants to do that?
Well, exactly. It's a long run back for sure. And then it's just the flip side of things. If you can open things up and you get one in the win column, as it were, your chances at playoffs are really quite high then. So you're going to have some tough teams on the upper bracket side of things. Not even on the screen, dog. And Spoxy going to find the kill to open up once again for Gaimin Gladiators. Yes, sir.
Definitely one of the cheekiest angle possible out towards Zay. And Bucket's going to be able to find the kill, the frag down towards Raffin to equalize it back down to a 4-on-4, minute 20. And C4 comes in hot towards middle. Mouseby has to hold it down by himself as Bucket was taken out. But the C4 down towards B connector is going for a possible rotate. And this is going to basically prove my point about their macro. Like, it's almost Gaimin is reading Twisted Minds like a book, and they can isolate a bomb site that's held down only by that chip after taking the frag on towards middle. So, good rotation. But the question is, can they take down that chip on the rotation here? No, that chip finds a quick head. The rotation from Mouseby is going to be there as well to find yet another frag down to a 2v2. Lion Claw down very low. 35 seconds remaining, and they're going to be going for a huge rotate.
Yeah, not loads of time. Do have to make the correct guess here. Just be careful on some of these longer range angles. We'll take it slowly. They will get the A bomb site. So That'll be easy enough. It's all about holding on to things. I quite like what they're doing here as Flex is getting in deep, trying to cut off some rotations. Little does he know, it's already been a rotation, unfortunately. So he has to find this kill now, keep the dream alive. He will do just that into the 1 versus 1, moving in thick and fast, maybe a bit too fast. Defuse will come in easily enough, and it's a clutch up for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, too wide of a jump, wasn't it, from Heaven? And KinZero doesn't miss those. And Twisted Minds is going to be able to rack up 1 round to themselves, tied at 1-1. Moving to round number 3, and even with soon here. Like I said, the rotation down towards B was, I think it was a valid call, 4v1, but Tatchep was able to just hold a bomb site by himself, so didn't quite work out for Gaimin. And moving into this round, let's see where Gaimin wants to force the attack towards.
Boku up close, but he's taken down quick. Trying something a bit different, not usually what we see Twisted Minds going for, you know, early aggression like that. He will be dropped, so maybe we're indeed going to go back to the more passive style of play here on the GR side of things.
This is why you don't necessarily go aggressive down towards the B connector, because once you're caught out, there's nowhere else to go. And as you saw, Boku had nowhere else to go. And speaking of which, KinZero does have somewhere else to go. He does fall back towards the bomb site after earning the information. Yet another smoke being put out towards middle to cover the angle, but it looks like Gaimin wants to force the issue down towards middle. KinZero has nothing to do about it. Buckcarrot does find the opening on towards the Zane, down to a 4v4. Looking for the second frag. Looks at the wrong angle. Raffin swings in, gets the frag, and the bomb will be planted. Down to 4v2.
Looking scary. Looking very, very scary as Gaimin Gladiators, as you have spoken about the macro play, the pack mentality. Just seems really solid from them. Always a guy to back the play. Working pretty well with the utility here as well. So this is getting worrisome. Twisted Minds rely on a really, really close one in the previous round. Nice shot, but ultimately to no avail. So Gaimin Gladiators in keen position right now to stretch ahead, and I think for my money looking very, very good. If they can again find these consistent openers, I think they should be able to run away with things.
And that mid take last round, it was expected. It was bound to happen, and KinZero knew that too, but no other players from Twisted Minds came in for the help, so eventually they end up losing the round. Don't know what's up, but that's going to be the story being written here. Round number 4. Spoxy going for some pot shots. Was lucky a couple times. Not lucky this time. And as Boku wasn't the B connector last time, they're going to be clearing this angle out just for safety. But not quite going to find much as Gaimin now seeks to take control of double pillars with 2 players while the bomb gets rotated out towards middle.
Just expecting a bit of something, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Looking for a player that might be getting aggressive. But Twisted Minds playing the other side of that coin, which is let's not give them any fights, let's stay alive as long as possible.
I don't think that's the right play to go with compound. You do see a lot of teams try to gain control down towards A, down towards B, down towards middle. Like, especially a lot of nade stacks out towards middle, towards the container boxes you see. It's on the left of the screen there by the Global Risk side. But Twisted Minds not necessarily doing any of those. A couple tries were there, but it was punished. Bucket was taken out. And now Gaimin has all the room to play with, and they're going to flank down towards middle. Lion Claw is going to find the drop onto that chip, and Carrot in the bomb site stuck, has nowhere to go. So is KinZero looking only towards window. Not going to happen, as there are just too many angles to worry for.
Okay, hold on a minute. Carrot does bring it a bit close, if only one more kill in there. Still, Boku capitalizing as well. 2-on-2 now. Bringing it down to a much more doable situation where it did indeed seem that the bomb site was just going to get overwhelmed. Maybe a retake on the cards here. Mousefear's position going to be known. Shot doesn't land there from Spoxy on the edge of the smoke. Oh, the kill's not quite coming in. It's Spoxy then left in this 1 versus 2 on the pistol. Not going to happen. Mousefear with big finds on the backside, and it's Twisted Minds. They're able to come back into the round against the odds.
I thought the round was surely over once Gaimin had full control down to the spawn area, down towards connector. They had full wrap at B, but at the end of the day, Twisted Minds is going to be able to rake it back up with their micro. Super plays Carrot, dropping 3 with the pistol, with the arm. So looks like that's how the rounds are going to be played out. Tied at 2-2. And quick double pillar take by Gaimin. That chip has to hold this one down, but completely flash. Can't do much. Lion Claw will find yet another fragment. So does Spoxy. Down to 5v2. And this is why Gaimin is one of the scary teams in this lobby.
Yeah, absolutely. What they are kind of capable of. And I think Twisted Minds look very uncomfortable going for those aggressive moves, don't they? Which, you know, might work against them in the long run here. Again, the previous win they picked up is off the back of a close clutch situation. But when it comes down to the more conventional rounds, Gaimin Gladiators are able to go from step 1 to step 2 to step, you know, finding the first kill, solidifying the round, getting the bomb down, and just able to play a much more clear-cut kind of game. And Twisted Minds, surely their luck runs out at some point.
Carrot trying his best, has just a tad bit of time, goes for the peaks, but looks like this round is surely granted towards the side of Gaimin, and the tactical pause, I believe, has just came in. Good time to be used.
Yes, I mean, generally towards the start of the game, right, I think a lot of the teams seem to be comfortable setting the pace and just making sure to nip any problems before they become irreversible. But it's tough to say. It's very, very tough indeed. There's only really one round that separates these teams, so it's not like it's starting to get out of hand and become impossible to catch your opponent.
Yeah, once you pass the event horizon, there's no turning back.
Yeah,
so
well, this is it.
Might as well do it before you reach the boundary. And Skriv, to be honest, I feel like for Twisted Minds, if they want to get some rounds back, the best bet here, I believe, is for them to just finish the first half in the Glover side, at least in just about like 3-4 rounds. Could be 6-3, could be 5-4, but I think TM has a better Blacklist side of all things, so just faster switch of sides is what they need, I feel like.
I suppose it's always good to survive that initial onslaught, though, isn't it, really? Which at the moment, they are hanging on by a thread. So if it ends up being a pretty one-sided first half, I think we do worry for them slightly. And that ultimately is what we're after here. A bit more of an extended tack coming in, actually. So maybe a couple of issues, maybe both teams utilizing them. Nonetheless, back underway here.
Was thinking about the nade stack down towards the middle. Not gonna happen as they do fall back. This nade from that chip not going to do much. Mousy not going to find much damage. Carrot does whiff the shot here. Gets to reposition himself out towards double pillars. Probably better for him to just fall back into the bomb site, play more default. But on the side of Gaimin, they have control out towards middle. They have control of double pillars any moment soon. And we do have a player lurking out towards a long. That's Raffin in the connector. So this is what I like about Gaimin. They try to gain as much ground as possible, take control of the map, and then utilize whatever information they can get their hands on to their advantage and win the round from there. And Twisted Minds has nothing to do about it until now, because they're not really proactively doing much about losing their grounds. Sure, early on in this round, we saw players trying to nade stack down towards the middle, but it didn't happen at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. There is certainly some unsurety here. I think they're maybe in their own minds, particularly about the previous map. It was really, really close. A couple of difficult rounds at the tail end. So I think you start to doubt yourself slightly. Should I be doing this? Is this the right sort of move? Whereas Gaimin Gladiators, very much the opposite. Where the hell has Kimbum come from, though? He's found a key kill there. Carrot, meanwhile, holding here at the back of the servers. He's got support coming around. It's actually Datchip that does the most damage for the round, to be honest. But Gaimin Gladiators, not a bad start. They find some decent control, but they just could not break into the bomb site there.
Tied yet again. 3-3, and the expressions on the faces of Twisted Minds seems to be relieved.
Yeah, I think they're definitely having fun with it, for sure.
Moving on to round number 7. Could be the key round to decide the vibe for the teams. Here's the replay of Kimbum just coming out from nowhere, like it says Scriv.
Crazy,
just the way these players navigate themselves to find themselves in a situation like that.
Yeah,
it's just very amazing to see.
Yeah, for sure, and I think it is again part of the Twisted Minds remit that they're a bit more individualistic in that sense. Whereas Gaimin Gladiators, everyone tends to be mostly together. Maybe the odd lurking player, but even then he'll be coordinated with the attack. So yeah, really, really curious at this point.
Yet another mid-take. Opening is going to be given towards Mousv as Raffin goes down. Carrot swings out, and a quick kill towards Flex is going to make things worse for Gaimin. With 3 players comes in towards the bomb site. Not going to happen. A quick spray down, and the swing out towards long by Kimbum is going to take the kill. And Twisted Minds is going to start leading out now, finally.
Yeah, they have woken up in the past couple of rounds and really turned things on its head. So Gaimin Gladiator is going to have to be worried here. It would seem the timeout has paid off massively for Twisted Minds. This could get really scary if they can keep up this kind of pace. Start to worry for Gaimin Gladiators. It has seemingly come out of nowhere. But we'll see. Oh, what a find. Lion Claw, yeah, quick on the peak. Beating out Carrot there, who's been having a good game so far. Pretty key name to take, and of course, a man advantage is nothing to sniff at here.
And looks like Gaimin doesn't necessarily want to force the issue down towards B. They expected the rotations to come in pretty quickly, and just like that, we saw Datchip just join hands with Baku down towards B. Here comes the replay. Lion Claw, what a click and a clap towards Carrot. Carrot has been having a good day today so far, until that moment.
Yep, very true. It could be a little bit of a decisive moment here as well. Mousv hanging on the edge. Oh, going to lose another member. It's a lot of damage done. He lets them in, he lets them cross, tries to catch a straggler, not going to happen for him. Just spamming away. That's kind of ridiculous. Just a super lucky kill through the smoke there, while moving and everything. Bomb going to go down.
Whatever gets you the job done. Right?
I guess. But that is a let Jesus take the wheel kind of moment. Unfortunately, nobody else really able to chime in here. So Gaimin Gladiators cleaning up house thanks to that first initial kill.
And now I just don't know whose game this is going to be, Scriv. It's out of the air.
Trading rounds, trading moments, a lot of dominating moments, a lot of individual moments. That's one of the things that we commented on with Gaimin Gladiators, but they seem to have, turned the dial up a little bit. Still not quite as flashy, still not quite as impressive as some of the moments from Twisted Minds, but able to match 1-for-1 a little better.
1-for-1 indeed. Like I mentioned, so is the rounds being exchanged back and forth by these two teams. And this is seemingly the last round for the first half. Could go either way from the progression of how this map is being played out. Gaimin's going to play this one with extra care. Not swinging out wide. Not forcing the issue, but looks like they want to poke and prod down towards the middle, but this time it's going to be 2 players of Twisted Minds holding it down. Datchip, the last one to hold it down. Not quite there to hit the shots. Raffin and Flex and all the players on the side of Gaimin is going to be able to find the frags. Kimbum responds, gets one, but the bomb site already taken away.
Ooh, not impossible. Not impossible. He maybe could have traded another one there, and that would have been a big deal. Oh, the damage is good, but the kills not quite coming in. Turns away from the flash. Doing a good job here, to be fair, on an individual point, but Carrot lagging behind ever so slightly to try and find this here. One more headshot could give us a chance in. Not going to happen. Slowly but surely spammed away. Got to be annoying to just deal with the whack-a-mole. Carrot. Can't find the second. So a valiant attempt, but it's Gaimin Gladiators taking the lead.
Yeah, I just had to point out Spoxy just mad, pressing his control, crouch peeking, and Kimbum had nothing to do about it. But eventually, Gaimin's going to be able to secure another round. Could be a key round now as Gaimin gets to play the more favored side, I would say. More surefire side, so to speak. Let's see if Twisted Minds have any answers to respond to that question.
Immediately, though, you see it in this round, Gaimin Gladiators just going for the more conventional move. The nade stack down middle, as you mentioned, being quite regular. I don't think we saw Twisted Minds go for it like once.
And early clearance out towards double pillars as well.
Yeah, so it's just kind of the logical thing to do. And ultimately, Gaimin Gladiators is able to set the bar. That it's like, we know this, we're going to do this. It's always going to be there. It's always something you have to think about. Whereas Twisted Minds, I don't think they do that sort of conditioning play as much.
Not as much indeed. And Twisted Minds is going to play with the clock here. It's about minute 30 left onto it. Not really showing any major interest of a certain bomb site. They're just trying to gather some information. As a Mouse V is going to be clearing double pillars. We do have Carrot looking out towards middle. And this is the type of play that I was pointing out, that if they don't find the opening frags, then they get completely lost. Like, as you can see on the screen here, Bakyu gets taken down. That ship now gets the frag back, but the crossfire setup here by Gaimin is so strong. There's nothing that Twisted Minds can do about this. Down to 2 players in less than a minute. They're going to force the issue down towards middle. The C4 is dropped down to the hands of Carrot. Has clutched up many a times, but this one, Scriv, I think it's going to be a very tough call to do. The whack-a-mole again.
Yeah, once again. It's always frustrating. Maybe a few more spots to do it on this map than some of the others, but nonetheless, looking good. Gaimin Gladiators with a keen start into the second half. Really important, and again, comes from a dominating position. If they can build the gap here, I think we'd be in a very, very good spot.
And this is the same problem that I was talking about in Eagle Eye, right? Like, if Twisted Minds does lose the driving force, they kind of have a tendency to just bum rush into an angle that you're not supposed to bum rush into, and that's exactly what happened in middle of compound once again. So let's see if they're able to recoup back some rounds, as Gaimin now in the lead, 6-4. 4 more rounds for them to close this one out in their favor, which is not expected, I would say.
Playing things a little more smoothly here. However, that first exchange comes in. Spoxy's in the perfect spot to find that kill. That's also going to be the bomb going down, so maybe a small sort of oversight there. Carrot having a little look, but nothing presenting. He's now smoked off. This does not look good. 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Right, it's enough time, but it also is deceivingly short. They have to be very careful. They've got a bomb to recover. And I think Gaimin Gladiators are pretty happy with this game state right now.
Yeah, nice opening frag. Has a pretty good control over the whole map. They can expect the angle of attack that Twisted Minds are going to bring up from the board. But for now, C4 yet to be picked up. So now gets picked up by Carrot. Gets rotated out from A. Are they hoping for a B take here? Blind Claw swings, almost catches Kimbum. Could have made things worse for TM, but luckily for them, Kimbum stays alive. .40 and ticking. The C4 just outside of B hints to us a possible attack is coming through, but Flex says no. Finds a quick double, almost the third. As Bucket and Carrot finally gets a frag of their own, down to 3v2, but there's not a lot of time on the clock here, Scriv. 23 seconds.
Again, just nervous to move past that choke point, aren't they, really? The kills are coming back in. Carrot has actually made this round look doable, but there's the big kill, right? They knew where to put their resources. They knew what they had to do. Carrot's now got to double up in 10 seconds, less than that even. Surely just do not give him the fights here. I think exactly will be the case. Lion Claw even stays alive for good measure. So the gap now spreading. Just a few more rounds, just 3 more required here from Gaimin Gladiators to be taking this opening series of EWC.
And now the pressure really kicks in for TM here. Has to make some rounds back. Otherwise, they're about to drop a series to especially the opening match of the whole tournament. What a shot.
Hey, it was Carrot, man. He was looking good, but again, just this individual style from Twisted Minds. There's not enough support around, you know? Sometimes you have one player gets a couple of kills in the middle of a round. It's just not enough, because this is how a lot of them are starting. Super aggressive, super successful. Gaimin Gladiators sending a message with that one, let me tell you, and Twisted Minds got to recover this. They've got to find a way back into this game right now.
It's either going to happen right now, or they're going to find a loss and a position in the lower bracket. Just 2 rounds away for Gaimin to close this one out. Nate Stack being thrown out. Baku takes a whole punch. Spoxy swinging out with the secondary. Gets caught out as he looks the wrong way, and Baku some way, somehow finds a triple kill for himself. All headshots. So this might be the turning point by Twisted Minds to get some rounds back in their pockets.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's sort of exactly what we were asking for. Ultimately, consolation at the moment. That is going to be the bomb. That is going to be the bomb. Oh, my goodness. Riffin close. Very, very close indeed. Still a bit more work, but he has made it doable. You know, they're very split here. Do they have the information on Lion Claw? Probably not, right? He's looking to get that catch. He reveals himself a little quickly. So now they'll know where he's at. They can play around that. Dat Chip going to spot him here. Lion Claw trying, gets the pre-fire round. It's into the one-on-one. How has it come back to being this close? Wild round here. Absolutely wild round here. Fresh reload. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Carrot looking to just get the one shot here. Where is he playing from? Lion Claw does not know. Only a couple of angles you can really check. Makes the noise to move down, but hidden away is the... Oh, he misses the shot. Lion Claw able to spin around, but still Carrot on the reset. Will find it. Goodness me. Sweat on your brow for sure, but they just survived that.
Misses the easiest shot of the century, and then hits the flick of the century. So Carrot just teasing us here almost, Scriv. Finally, Twisted Minds is going to find themselves some signs of life as they recoup the replay from Baku, finding a quick triple kill to open up the round. And then again, somehow Gaimin finds a triple kill of their own. Raffin just mad gun firing towards the player's Twisted Minds. So and that will be that for the round as we proceed into round number 14. Yet another very aggressive pick by Gaimin. They have full control of double pillars, double stack towards connector as well. If anyone from Twisted Minds walk into that, could be an issue.
Yeah, and look, they've just sort of lost a really weird, tough round that was losable, then winnable, and then, of course, lost it in the end. But they really stick to the process here. I think they have a lot of belief in that, as it were. So we'll see. They now press the attack in from this connector area. Get the one and pull back. Good discipline, not going to overstep. Flex standing strong here. Will be traded eventually. Baku trying to just hold these rotations at bay, but there's players all over the place right now. C4 got to be recovered. Dangerous task, but Baku is given that opportunity again. Passive here from Gaimin Gladiators after they found their initial kills. They've taken the disciplined move. Carrot with another crazy flick. Goodness me, the C4 has yet to be planted. Again, they don't feel super safe to go for it. Where are these other players coming from? Twisted Minds, I'll give them credit. They've played this well as they just look for the kills and don't rush into things with that bomb plant. Now just going to be down to Spoxy. You feel not a chance. He will go creeping in. Surely has to be spotted now. Just a few keen heads revealing themselves. Ultimately, the kill's not looking good for him. Down he will go. And a big old find to come through. Twisted Minds keeping the dream alive.
I mean, the round was looking pretty prominent towards the side of Gaimin once they were able to have a wrap around towards the bomb site, towards the servers. But somehow Carrot hitting those multi-shots was able to isolate Lion Claw in no man's land, which eventually was taken up by Carrot himself anyways. And full control towards the bomb site was granted. So a very weird yet clean round comes out from the side of Twisted Minds as they are still clawing back to the tie here. 6-8 as Gaimin, in all determination, wants to close this one out. Going for a similar setup once again, but this one is going to be more passive as Double Pillars is going to be given up by the side of Gaimin.
Bit safer this time around. Gaimin Gladiators just holding back. Not getting too aggressive, looking to lean more so on their setup. See what the response is. Twisted Minds, though, being given a lot of room, and this gap is closing exponentially. Oh, Lion Claw, late swing, big find. There's a bit of backup there. Again, they try and play the discipline game and drop back, just about making it away. Big damage onto Flex.
Mouseby is going to be able to finish Flex down, who was already down to about 10-20 HP there. Equalize to 4-on-4 as a reset comes in by Twisted Minds. The C4 still lingers around B, but will eventually rotate out. Mid being washed down by Raffin. Had some huge moments a couple rounds ago. Had a triple kill. Can he repeat this? Goes for the spray down, gets one. Smartly repositions himself, goes for the second. Kimbum takes a bunch, but eventually gets wall banged. Now it's going to be Raffin. And in towards A. You saw Spoxy holding it down. Lion Claw with a big flank. He's going to take down Kimbum. And Dezane springs out. Gets the drop in Baku in a 1v3. It's going to be a tough one to ask, Swerve.
Yes, absolutely. I'm recovered. A little bit of information going to be gained as to his vague whereabouts here. Baku moving in, spotted now. They know exactly where he is. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Spoxy's ready for him. He's just kind of faking things out. Spoxy is really playing things safe here. And there you go.
No
they will
idea.
eventually, didn't know what was going on. Just waiting for his teammates. It all works out in the end, but a little comical from our perspective. Not going to be comical, of course, for Twisted Minds. They now look at their first series going down the drain here after a really strong start to it.
And Baku almost, the facial expression was almost a lost shot on the Boulevard. So, tough moments by Twisted Minds here. Like you mentioned, almost about to lose the series that came in favor of their side. This is the replay of Spoxy just casually tapping.
No. Just, there's such a thing as too safe, too much respect, I suppose, but didn't want to take any chances.
Not at all indeed. 9-6, as this could possibly be the very last round of the series if Gaimin can just close this one out. Otherwise, Twisted Minds will have to give all they got to stay alive in the series. Ooh, Carrot swings. Boxy sees that play. Somehow, the flick shots are on point for the snipers tonight. And Carrot goes down as the opener. And Carrot has been the top fragger too. I think he's sitting on like 14 kills right now.
Yeah, looking really good in that sense, for sure. But again, unfortunately, Twisted Minds just can't tap into the same individuality. And they have just missed out on the maybe extra 10-20% in some of their individuals that they need here. As Gaimin Gladiators really steaming ahead, a couple of them. Flex in this round, not going to be one of them, unfortunately, though. He will go down a bit too easily for our liking. 4-on-4 now. We'll see whether they can get this bomb into a site. Riffin with a big find there, as it was a keen lurk out from Baku, who's been doing well in the past few rounds. Now starting to hammer this one home. 40 seconds and only 2 players remain for Twisted Minds. Make it just one. Kimbum, bomb on his back for sure. spotted now. Spoxy confident for the fight. A flank coming in as well, and lots of damage, no kills, and you're going to need those, of course. It will be Gaimin Gladiators to take the opening Group A matchup. Really keen find-in from them as they look solid throughout, to be honest with you. I think that, you know, the opening half maybe left a little to be desired. Started to edge things back on Black Widow, but too big of a gap. Since then, I feel like they've run the game. Not super dominant, not super one-sided, but they were maybe the team